Peace and prosperity, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are working with this young fella, Blade, here. Now, Blade has been with us for 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks. This is be his third week. So right now, what we're working on with Blade, we've already implemented the behavior, right? We've shaped the behavior by implementing the sit, the down, and the sit out of a down position just by using hand signals, right? So using hand signals and what we call in the dog world, in the dog training world, luring, right? So now that I've shaped the behaviors and he knows the hand signals, let me show you, right? So no words. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yes. So as you can see, he knows the hand signals. Now what we have to do is compound the hand signals with the verbal command, right? So now we got a three-headed monster, right? I can use leash pressure because he understands leash pressure, which is I use that lightly with him because with smaller dogs, I use much less leash pressure than I do with older and bigger dogs, right? For a couple of different reasons. Obviously, smaller dogs are more fragile, right? They're already lower to the ground. So it's just as far as a physiological standpoint, right? You don't have as much room to work with the leash pressure, specifically when you're talking about the down position. And then also, they tend to be a little bit more fragile mentally than the bigger dogs, right? So with all of those things combined, I use the least amount of leash pressure as I possibly can, right? I still use it as a tool, but I use it the least amount I possibly can because I know in the long run, I actually want the leash pressure to only be associated with negative reinforcement, meaning when they break a command or when they're doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, that's when I want to deploy the leash pressure, right? So any other time, I want the experience, I want the learning experience to be as positive as I can possibly make it, right? So now I'm going to show you guys how we begin to implement the verbal commands along with the hand signals, which is what I showed you earlier, right? So now we've been working on this, right? He's not perfect at it yet, but he is learning it. But I want you guys to see the process of him learning the verbal commands only. So I'm not going to give him any physical, right? Or I'm not going to give him any visual, right? Physical would be leash pressure. I'm only going to use leash pressure if he breaks the command. And I'm not going to give him any visual, meaning hand signals down. I'm not doing any of that. It's only verbal, right? So let me show you what I mean. Okay, sit. Good boy. That's a good boy. Down. Yes, that's a good boy. Sit. Good boy. That's a good boy. Yes. Sit. Now, that's a perfect example, right? So the last position he was in was a sit, right? So now I'm going to keep correcting him until he stays in that sit, because this is how I implement the stay command. I don't necessarily use stay. Now, there's nothing wrong with saying stay. I just think it's an unnecessary step, right? Because for me, when I tell you to sit, that means stay in that position until I tell you to do something else, right? Now, notice I did not say the word sit when I physically corrected him, because I do my best to only use the command with positive intention, right? Because I do not want him to associate the command or the directive with something negative, right? I only want to use negative when they are doing something that they are not supposed to be doing, not when they're doing something that I want them to do, right? So I don't say any verbal command, and I only use the physical correction, right? Down, blade, down. See, he's very easily distracted. He's distracted by the dog here making a lot of noise. Good boy. Yes, that's a good boy. Sit. Good boy. Yes. Nope. So now notice I said no physical, right? No means you did something wrong. The physical means we're going to correct it. Down. Blake. Down. Yes, good boy. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. You see, he corrected himself, right? He was about to go down, and then, oh, so now we get a physical correction. No words on the physical correction, just the physical correction with the leash pressure. Down. 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 Yes, good boy. That's a good boy. So one more time. Nope. Sit. Yes, good boy. Down. Good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. And make sure you praise him up real good, because you want to do your best to keep the session fun and happy. You see that tail going now. You see he wants to be up next to me, getting all the love, right? And it's okay to take breaks every so often and do this while you're in the session, right? You don't have to do 30 minutes straight of drill sergeant, right? Try to keep it fun, the same way that you would want it to be fun if you was doing something and learning something new, because that can be stressful, right? So look, folks, that's how we do it. Of course, any questions or comments, make sure you put that in the comment section below. And if you have any specific suggestions that you would like me to do a video on, right, make sure you put that in the comment section below as well. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Very important for the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you share this video for the YouTube algorithm. And until the next video, you are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. Stay safe, better yet, stay dangerous. Peace and prosperity. Hey, come right here. Yes. Sit. Sit. Good. Yes, good boy. Nope. Sit. Down. Good boy. Sit. Yes, good boy. Nope. Down. Yes, good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy, Blade. Yes, good boy.